Welcome to the Supplement Engineer Podcast. My name is Robert Chinetsky. Joining me, as always, is my supplement brother from another mother, Justin Hall of Supplement Snoop. Welcome back, my friend. It's Thursday. We are doing the deed again.
Yes, sir. We are. We'll next week at this time we'll be in Columbus for the Arnold. So we're getting down, man. It's coming up pretty quick.
I know we're going to be up to our eyeballs in sweat and protein farts, so it'll be interesting.
I hadn't heard it quite put that way, but yeah, good. I'm looking forward to it, man. This is the first time I'm going to Arnold in a very long time, and obviously in a totally different capacity than I was there before. So looking forward to it, man. We're gonna have a good time.
I hope so. Do you kind of have your whole trip already booked and planned and lined out on what you're going to do, or are you kind of freestyling it?
We're free balling it, man. There's so many people I want to see and hang out with that I didn't. People are like, oh, let's do this content, this content. And I was like, no, no. I'm gonna go hang out with people, shake some hands, kiss some babies, and have fun with some people that a lot of people I'll just be meeting for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Get to hang out with. So I didn't want to make any plans. We do have something kind of cool. I think that Friday night, and this will sort of segue into one thing I wanted to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the. You should actually probably look into doing this. The Axe and Sledge, their demo crew meetup.
Yeah.
They're having like a 2-hour open bar kind of thing at the hotel next door. So
Nice.
they were awesome enough. Those guys are fantastic. I get along with them great. Gave me a couple tickets. I think they're like $50, and I'm gonna go over there for a couple hours and have an open bar night with Seth and Mike and the whole team over there.
Good times. Well, then you said that was going to parlay into what's something you wanted to discuss. So what's your rant for this week?
Yeah, well, no rant. I wanted to do something because I don't ever really do stuff like this. So I posted in the Supplement Snoop group about this new Axe and Sledge. This is pretty badass.
Yeah, basically the Jack and Coke of supplements.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a copyright infringement, but it's pretty badass, whatever it is. So people have been asking me, they're like, what's it taste like? What's it taste like? So I haven't actually opened it yet, but I figured I would open it here and do like a live taste test.
You should. Do you have a bottle of Jack and a can of Coca-Cola next to you so you can do a comparison?
So I talked to Mike from over there is the one I usually talk to. Mike is behind the scenes guy, but he's awesome. The whole team over there, they just live and breathe what they do, man. It's amazing to see. They're just a good group. And he's like, hey, he goes, we'll have to try this out, next week at the Arnold, because I think they're going to drop it then.
Yeah.
And because from what he told me, Seth let the cat out of the bag. He wasn't supposed to. To show people this, they weren't going to do it until I think early next week.
Yeah.
And but they say I think Seth made a little boo boo and.
Oh well, cat's out of the bag.
Kind of trouble. So cat's out of the bag. So this thing is so well done. I almost don't want to open it because it's just so pretty, man.
Now, is that a special edition of one of their products, or is it just a flavor? Is it a new formula, or?
So it's the grind, and it's the same formula as the grind in the past.
Okay.
So it's a really well dosed EAA. Plus, it's got some glutamine. It's got coconut water, betaine, and ornithine. Which is one thing interesting about this one because it doesn't have methionine in it, but I know they talked about methionine is tough to flavor and things like that. But if you use betaine can sort of backdoor your way to methionine because it helps with
homocysteine and methylates that. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if that was their goal, probably. And then you can make the flavors a little bit better. I don't know. But anyway, it's just special edition flavor of the grind. And their other flavors are really good. Really good. So, let's see. I did get to try a sample of this when they were testing it out. But this being the final product, you never know.
Now, do you have the proper water to scoop ratio? So if it says 8 ounces, don't throw 20 ounces in your shaker cup.
Yeah, 10 to 12 ounces of cold water. So I
Okay.
probably need to drink a little bit of water. So is there anything you want to talk about real quick? Go ahead. I finish some water.
I'm gonna say I love the names of the flavors that they have for the grind. I've never tried any of their stuff, but they always come out with interesting named flavors. So they've got Scorpion Venom, Shark Bite, Unicorn Blood, Swamp Beast, Tropical Thunder.
Yeah, they're good
Hilarious,
too.
hilarious names. And whiskey and cola is going to be. I can imagine it's going to be good. But yeah, I do need to reach out and get Mike on the thing. I don't know if Seth is. I mean, he's kind of the big name athlete of the company. I don't know if he's got to have time to come on the podcast, but I do need to reach out to Mike and get him. So hopefully,
Mike
in
is
the coming weeks, once the Arnold calms down and everybody kind of gets their shit back together.
yeah, Mike is the. They all have nicknames over there, and Mike is the main event. So, as we know, the main event is what everyone comes for. So, Seth's awesome, but the main event is Mike. So that's all I can tell you.
Outstanding.
All right, let's see here. Shake this up with my nice Natural Body Ink shaker, the Gronkowski shaker, ice shaker. Many things are amazing. We'll see. It smells like cola with some sweet. Like obviously, there's not an alcohol smell.
Yeah, but it's got that bourbon kind of whiskey.
Yeah, it's like because when I tried the sample, what it tasted to me was like it had like a hint of like sweet tea, maybe some sweet iced tea, sort of mixed in with cola, but.
What you got?
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
You actually get the whiskey, kind of the cool burn of the whiskey on the back end, maybe? Just a little bit?
So, it's here's what I like about it, and what I liked about the sample. It's the same as the sample, I think. There's no aftertaste. Like, I think anytime, like, you drink, like, a cola flavor, there's, like, that weird sort of aftertaste that sort of comes along with it. It's almost like all that stuff like sits on your tongue. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like cola. It tastes like cola with some sort of sweet tea, like almost a lemonish sort of. There's a lot sort of happening in this one at the same time, but it's very much like an iced tea mixed in with cola. It tastes like a Jack and Coke would without the alcohol burn, behind it. So that's good, man. They did. I'm not surprised. Least surprising news of the day. This is really good.
Have you tried their stim pre-workout at all?
So
HWMF is there, I think.
Yeah, so the newer one that they came out with was Seventh Gear. Yeah. And because they have Ignition Switch was one, and then Seventh Gear is another one. Yes, I like that one. That's a good one too. They market it as like a high stim. It's not like real crazy. Well, high stim for us is different than high stim for a lot of people. But it is very energetic. It's more, I don't think there's any like big doses of citrulline or anything like that. It's very much like stim centric kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a 3.2 beta alanine, 2 betaine, 1500 of creatine magna power, 350 caffeine anhydrous, 250 choline, 200 alpha GPC, 100 teocrine as the tasteless 40%, or it says 100 milligrams of theocrine. So I don't know if that's the yield or not, because in the parentheses it has as teocrine 40%, so I'm not really sure what that is. 50 milligrams of dicaffeine malate, so in total you're probably getting 375 in that ballpark of actual caffeine, 380. 5 milligrams
That's
of black pepper.
Like low stim for us.
Yeah. Well, anything over 300 I consider as higher stim for me, because my typical pre-workouts that I take is 250 to 300. Although the past couple of days I've been ratcheting it up just because I want to try. I have some higher caffeinated pre-workouts, and I kind of want to see how that feels.
Higher caffeinated pre-workouts are like what? Like who? Assassin?
No, I still have not gone ridden the full beast on that one. I did a full serving of Primeval's Mega Pre Black, the new edition, a couple times this week, and I did the full serving of Moody's Vandal. So I've been liking those. The Mega Pre Black, this one hits so much better than the other one for me, and I don't know if it was because the previous version was just had too much dynamine, or teacrine and dynamine combo just made me tired. But this one only has caffeine and dynamine, and that one hits, I find, at least, that the 2 or 3 times I've used it have worked really well for me.
Yeah, I agree. Caffeine and dynamine for me is a good combo. And caffeine and teacrine to me seems like a good combo too. But when you put all 3 of them together, suddenly for me it just doesn't seem to. Granted, I haven't used that many products with it, but I think there's a reason for that too, because I'm just like, it's just not really what I like. It's just not a good experience.
Right. I'm surprised to a little bit that Compound pushes the trifecta. I mean, obviously they will make more money if people buy both teacrine and dynamine from them. But from the people that I've talked to, I haven't met many people that like all 3 together, because I was just talking to Gerhard and them over at Fitness Informant on Tuesday, and I asked what their experiences with it had been. They said they don't like the trio either, or at least their experiences with trying it at different doses and everything. And so I'm surprised that hasn't gained much traction.
That'd be cool. I did hear that. I think Gerhard told me I talk to Gerhard like every day.
Yeah.
I like him. So I know he listens to us every week, so we'll shout him out. He's a funny guy, man. I'm looking, yeah. So I'll definitely tune into that one. Hopefully he got some airtime. I know Ryan is always has a lot of good things to say too. So that's probably like almost too many people to have on a podcast, because there's going to be so much sort of going back and forth.
Interplay, yeah. There's 3 is probably the most I would want to do on a podcast. Definitely not. I don't think I could do 4 or 5. I mean, the exception is if we could get, I don't know, you, me. We've had a request for you, me, Morphogen, Ben, and I'm trying to remember who the 4th person was. I think it was Devin that maybe suggested this a while back. It was supposed to be you, me, Morphogen, Ben, and I'm not sure who else. Maybe Rage, Nick, and Robbie from Apollon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that would be a 5-hour podcast.
Yeah, I don't even know, because I think Nick, his rants are legendary. Ben, can you get him on the right subject? He won't, but Robbie, he can really elaborate on some points. So
he can.
I don't know, man. That would be like I said, I think one of these times for like charity or something, when we have to do a podcast like that and raise money as some sort of marathon.
Sounds good for me. We'll do we'll call it Robbie's Kids instead of Jerry's Kids.
There you go. Speaking of Robbie, he's on the front page of Stack today.
He is, as of this recording. The new Apollon's, so initially it was under Anarchy Labs Overtime, which was their nootropic party supplement. Basically, you want to go crazy all day, all night.
I didn't even realize that.
So
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll let you explain that.
Yeah, it's now been brought in under the Apollon family. So just to give it more traction, Apollon's kind of taken off. Anarchy is, Assassin. Everybody knows that, but they're going to roll Overtime into the main full family of products and keep going with it that way. So there's not much of a tweak to this formula. There's just a small one. So for those of you that have the original Overtime, the only big addition to this one is the addition of 30 milligrams of Nootropic, which in combination with the alpha GPC and rhodiola also has some acetylcholinesterase inhibiting properties. That trifecta right there is going to be even more intense than what you probably already experienced on Overtime.
Yeah, Nootropic is just one of those things, man. I wish I could tell people how much I like it, but I can't, because it's basically a drug,
it's
right?
A gray area.
So
yeah,
it's a gray area is one way to put it. It is a lot of fun, though. It's 30 milligrams is a lot.
It is. It's. I've started as low as like 10 milligrams, and I've kind of worked my way up. But sometimes I'll take 30 in the afternoon if I'm just going have a work session and I don't want or need any more caffeine because I've already had a pre-workout during the day or a cup of coffee or something. I will take Noopept with rhodiola and my lion's mane. So you'll notice a lot of similarities between what I use daily and what's in this formula for my afternoon work sessions. And it just, you reach like this ethereal plane of just awesomeness. And if you have an old fashioned on the side with that, then I mean it's like magic. It's magic.
I've got like the next best thing. This is really good. I'm liking it more and more as I try this whiskey and cola.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see. Obviously, with the Noopept being in there, you're not going to be able to sell it through Amazon or certain other retailers, but you can get it through Apollon's site or or to go to the actual Apollon gym up in Jersey if you're in that northeast area.
Yeah, that's gonna be a doozy, man. I mean,
yeah,
even if you took the Noopept out, it would be.
Yeah, it's still.
That's a beast.
Yeah, it's high stim, but it doesn't make you feel super crazy. Or at least I've increased my dose now from 3 caps to 4 caps just to see how the energy kind of increases with each additional capsule. Oh, shut up! Don't roll your eyes at me like that.
Sorry, that's right. I forgot we're on video.
Have you done all 6 caps yet?
Roll.
Have you done all 6 caps yet? That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I think did I? I might have done it once, and I don't remember because like I probably woke up like the next day and didn't have any memory of what I did.
Awesome. Oh, you get any new stuff in your weekly supplement haul, my friend?
Yeah. So I got the Axe and Sledge one, and but I got something from Alpha Line, but I can't disclose what it is yet. I get something from Glaxon tomorrow. That's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be like a little top secret thing. I'm trying to think. What the hell? I know I got other stuff. I don't know. I can't remember. I know I did. Shit. I don't remember.
Worthless. You are worthless. Was it the Alpha Line? Was it their new? I thought they released a new flavor of their EAA formula. Was it that? Because that's public knowledge. But if it's something different than that, then we obviously won't discuss that.
Yeah, I got that Alpha Line. I think it was like last week.
Yeah.
Maybe that was one other thing I got that. Yeah. But no, this product, brand new product, coming to market that they're still sampling out. So it looks very cool. It's it'll be something that people will talk about. So we'll see. But that'll be fun. I'm gonna try it out. Yep. But other than that, no, I don't think so. I don't think anything like anything new. Must not have been.
No.
So, on to Stacked?
Yes, on to Stacked it is. This week has been more or less the same for me from a supplement standpoint. Nothing new to my knowledge has come in. Oh, I did run Jack Factory's CogniSurge a couple of days this week as well. Because I bought that tub a couple weeks back and I finally decided to crack it open. And I like it very much. It's 125 caffeine, 125 theanine, and it's also got 100 milligrams of dynamine in it, 300 CDP choline, 300 KSM. I'm doing this all from memory, so one of these dosages might be off. 2 grams of tyrosine, a gram of lion's mane extract, and 100 milligrams of neurofactor, along with 50 micrograms of huperzine A. And dude, that 125 milligrams of caffeine plus dynamine hits a lot harder than it should, but I think it's because you're getting the CDP choline, which has kind of got that potentiating effect when it's combined with caffeine and boosts dopamine, plus you're getting the nerve growth factor stimulating, upregulation, stimulation of it from the neurofactor and the lion's mane. So both of those hit those neuropeptides, BDNF and NGF. And so when those get rampant, I don't know if it's just individual to me, but whenever I take an ingredient like that, even in the absence of caffeine, so I've got a bulk lion's mane supplement here, and if I just take 2 caps of that, it switches your brain on like nothing, and it's awesome. It's like caffeine, but less excitatory, but you still get that same kind of mental activation, which I really, really enjoy. So it's sneaky strong, and I would recommend that. The flavor's pretty good. But I mean, it's a nootropic, so you got a lot of funky stuff going on in there. So it's good for a nootropic. Not the best tasting supplement you're ever going to have, and far from the worst. But I would that gets the 2 thumbs up from the supplement engineer.
Yeah, because I think and that's one thing about Jack Factory is, it's very, I would say, minimalist marketing.
Yeah.
Right. So they have very good prices, and that's a pretty pricey formula. So
Yeah.
if you're going to sacrifice there, it's probably going to be flavor because they would have to probably spend a lot of time on that part of it. So
Right.
if I'm going to sacrifice there, it might as well be flavor. So I'm okay with that. It always looked like a cool formula. I've never tried it, but I know a lot of people that have, and they all say the same thing, that they really like it. So
yeah, it's really
they've been
well
doing
priced.
some cool stuff.
I think I don't know if I got it on sale when I bought it 2 weeks ago, but it was $18 for 20 servings. So I mean, compare that to a lot of other nootropics on Amazon or anywhere else, and yeah, you will not be disappointed in that one.
Yeah, people just can't. I mean, they're so massive at this point; they can just do things that other people can't. Which,
right?
That's good. It's good for them. They've been at it for a long time.
Yeah. But with
that amino product was good, man. I gotta say.
You ready for some more?
Finished with it. It was good. Very, very good.
But as part of the Supplement Snoop Consulting, the small business program that y'all have, how do y'all guide people towards manufacturing? Because I had a friend of mine reach out the other day who's entertaining the idea of starting a supplement company. He's still in the very early stages of it and trying to figure out a manufacturer. So what kind of tips do y'all have on those calls with new potential brand owners as far as vetting manufacturers?
It's a good question, man. We have several that we've spent a lot of time. We have a call almost with manufacturers like we do excuse me, with brands, where we tell them what our goals are. You can tell when you talk to someone, within this industry, what their standards are like, what do they focus on. And basically what we try to do is we try to find a good fit for, some of these manufacturers are a little bit smaller. They can do things with maybe pricing that other people can't.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them are smaller. They have better communication. So sometimes that's what a brand needs, or an individual that owns a company really needs. He needs like that hands-on support. Sometimes some of them are like, well, I just want the cheapest price, so I don't care about the communication. So what we try to do is we try to match up the brands with what we think is a good fit personality-wise, but also work. What we've done over the past couple of years, well, especially Brady too, is he puts in POs with manufacturers. He tries them. He sees their process. So anytime we're going to recommend a company to someone else, we've most likely 99% of the way have already put in our own order in some way, shape, or form with them. So we've seen the process through. That way it's not just some sort of go with this person. We really try to vet as much as possible. And it's just, like I said, sort of get personalities, get, what's important to each of these people. You can just, everyone's different. So then, but you also always have to have backup plans. You can't just, there's so many delays and there's so many unforeseen circumstances. Unfortunately, you just, it's hard to just stick with one manufacturer as much as we would want people to stick with one.
Correct.
It's tough. So we've put in and we've worn some manufacturers out with our questions and things like that. But we really try to do all the groundwork up front, because once we get everybody on the same page, we want it to be automatic. Yeah. The biggest problem I've seen is communication and not managing expectations. And I think that's pretty common in business in general. So we up front, we'll get on a call for hours every day if we have to, just so everyone is very clear how this works and what is expected of each of them. We try to be okay, a lot of times there's this combative relationship with retailers and manufacturers and brands. It's sort of weird. We try to get everyone working together where it's so we'll talk to manufacturers and say, what can we do to make it easier for you?
Yeah.
A lot of people won't know, like the manufacturers will know things that most people won't. They'll be like, well, like it was just Chinese New Year or whatever, and delays are happening. And then, oh, this certain trademark ingredients, in order to use them, it's going to take longer, so maybe get the ball rolling with this formula first, stuff like that. So any way we can sort of save time by just communicating more and trying to just make life a little bit easier for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're all about. And I just shockingly, there's so much that brands don't know, and I don't blame them because you can't Google this stuff. So basically, what Brady and I have been doing over the last couple of years, basically, is just talking to these people nonstop, getting to know the ins and outs of what makes them tick, what works for them, what they know, how that helps whatever brand is and just sort of connecting those dots for everyone. So it's a lot of work, but once you get it in place, man, it's smooth sailing.
Gotcha. Since you're deeper into the manufacturing side of things than I am and have more experience with it, and the coronavirus is a buzzword right now. Has that led to any delays as far as raw material shipments that you've heard?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. It's pretty bad actually. We just had a manufacturer, a friend of ours. They have no bottles. They can't get bottles. Bottles are coming from that specific
province
town that's under quarantine in China.
Yeah.
So everyone's like looking around and they have no bottles to put this stuff in. That's a problem.
That's a big problem.
And that's a problem you wouldn't necessarily think about. So just besides the raw ingredients, I haven't heard too much about anything specific with raw ingredients, but people probably aren't talking about it either.
Right.
If there is any issues.
Yeah.
But what I can say is the manufacturers that we know a lot of them are very quiet lately. I'm not saying that that's good or bad. It's just I think people are kind of like, holy shit, like bracing themselves for a lot of delays. I think you're seeing too in the supplement industry. There's a lot of things that are promised. I think we talked about this before, where companies are like, oh yeah, this is coming. Just wait.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like this that really messes all that up too, because you're not foreseeing these things that can kind of come out of nowhere and cause huge issues. Because I think it was you mentioned Ryan and Gerhard earlier. I think I saw that they pulled out of FIBO.
Did they?
Because they don't want to go over there because they found whatever coronavirus was over there. And Ryan's in prep for his competition, so
right.
You're seeing some brands, I guess, pull out of that FIBO thing. So yeah, man. As much as we downplay it, I'm like, whatever, I don't give a shit. But it is definitely affecting our industry.
Yeah, it is, and I know like the initial swell and the panic and alarm that's spiked already, and we're starting to see, more recuperations and cures of it than our actual new outbreak cases, because I think we just hit that critical point within the past week or so. I haven't followed it super closely, so this may be, part of this may be incorrect, but I believe that the new cases being found is being outpaced by the number of recoveries or people being healed of it, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah, I'm not sure because, like I said, it's like we go through this thing like every year, and not to downplay it, but it's like I don't read any of that shit. I don't care. It's not. It's always so overplayed, but at the same time, when it comes to when your business is within regulations, just because it's probably not as dangerous as the news and Facebook would lead you to believe,
right,
doesn't mean that it's not going to cause a lot of issues just from a regulatory standpoint and the processes that they have to undergo that's going to cause delays. So, yeah, it's just like I think every day this week, I think I woke up and I was like, and I would look at my messages and go, why the fuck would I start a supplement company? Like, why? There's just no reason, man. Like, the draw to start my own fades away a little bit more every single day.
Yeah. Last topic, Corona related. Do you think Corona, the beer, is experiencing any kind of backlash or drop in sales from a virus being named the coronavirus?
Probably because
People might
people
associate the
are.
two just because the names are similar. I don't like Coronas. I have this belief that if you have to add something to a beer to make it taste better, then it's a shit beer. So I don't like Blue Moon. I don't like Coronas. I tend to like ambers, stouts, porters, anything like amber and darker down the spectrum. I will drink, but keep IPAs and everything lighter. Yeah, IPAs, blondes, lagers. Just keep them away. That's for somebody else, not me.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I think that speaks to your. You were talking about liking Dexter and all that stuff, and
mhm.
it's a little dark, and you got that darkness in you, man. You sort of gravitate that way.
I do. And speaking of which, we are gonna have. Hussein and I are gonna watch the last episode of season 7 tonight, and so we only have one season left.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
You got through that pretty quick.
Yeah, well, she was off work Monday, so we were able to watch, 3 or 4 episodes of it then, and we watched like one a night after we put the halfling to bed. So,
Nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, because I think there's 8 seasons, right?
there are 8 seasons, and
Yep.
it's we only have 13 episodes total left. So I'm hoping not to. I've really enjoyed season 7. Season 6, I was not super impressed. Like I told you last week, I was not super impressed with season 6 just because Colin Hanks, I think, is a horrible actor. That I thought the storyline was weak. I don't really want to spoil this, although the show's been over for 7 years now. So,
Right.
I will say the finale was cool. Um, yeah, and I think that was the first time, and back in season 5 was the first time I actually enjoyed seeing Julia Stiles in a role because I don't think she's also not a very good actress or a very attractive one at that, and I've never seen the appeal behind her. So she
So
did really well in that. I liked her in that season. So everything else I've seen around just kind of
yeah, I think I told you that when I rewatched it.
you know.
I liked it better the second time actually I watched it. Although I loved it the first time, but I liked it even better the second time. And I got to season 6 and I started season 6 and I'm like, wait a minute, I skipped the whole season. I was like, I remember this season sucks, so
Yeah.
I just skipped it past it because season 7 is really good.
Yeah, season 7. It's very close to the way the first
That's the
four
Rush.
seasons felt.
That's the Russians, right? The Russians in
Yeah,
season 7.
yeah, I do
Yeah,
like the Russians, or
yeah, that was good.
Ukrainians, Russians. What
Yeah,
they're
whatever.
neighbors, whatever you want to lump them in together as.
Yeah,
Although that might piss Robbie off. We just lumped Ukrainians and Russians into the same sentence, so he
no,
might be pissed off. Oh, also
yeah.
we have so your birthday is coming up next week. Last week when we recorded, it was Robbie's birthday. Today is our boy Lucas Rutkowski's birthday over at Prometheus Supplements in Europe. So Lucas is my Polish brother from another mother. He's been one of the OG supporters, kind of like Devin and a few other guys out there, since my days way back before the supplement engineer was a thing, and I was doing reviews and writing all over the place. So yeah, happy birthday, Lucas, and hopefully I get to meet you one day when I head over to FIBO.
Yeah, not this year apparently.
No, I'm not going this year, although I think Robbie's supposed to be going.
Never mind. Yeah, happy birthday to Lucas. Yeah, mine's on Tuesday, so right before the Arnold, we're gonna celebrate my birthday when we're in Columbus. So be ready.
It's gonna be time. I'll take 6 caps of overtime for that event because that one is gonna be an event not to be missed or leave early from.
Yeah, yeah. I have a feeling I don't really want to. I don't want to sleep much those few days because we're gonna have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of people to hang out with, a lot of people to meet, a lot of fun times to be had. So
Yeah.
we'll try. That's the thing. That's the cool part about being in the supplement industry is if you need to, do something like that, there's no shortage of things that you can.
Right. You need an upper that's not cocaine. There's
You
plenty
can
of it around.
supplement yourself. You can supplement yourself right through that entire weekend.
You sure can. Are you planning to spend much time at all on the expo floor, or it's going to be most of the time out of it?
Now, I try to stay humble, but there are a lot of people there that are looking forward to us going and say hi. So I want to make sure I take a walk around on the floor, but that's not really my thing, man. I don't like.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't want to be like that guy either, where I just feel like I can walk wherever I want, do whatever I want, kind of thing. It's like a dick move. So I'm not real big in standing in lines and waiting for shit, and I'm
No.
not going to wait for samples. I have enough samples, so.
Yeah.
But I definitely will stop by a few. There's probably going to be a few booths where some people that I probably won't see. There's a lot of brand owners that we will specifically be hanging out with at some point, but then
Right.
there's some probably booths where people where I probably won't get to see them much, so I'll make sure I hit them up.
Yeah.
At some point during that expo.
At the Hilton bar right across or connected to the convention center. That's basically where most of the stuff goes down, and where I'll probably be spending most of my time. Obviously, I'll go walk around the expo floor, and my time when I'm not canoodling with you over certain things, and I'll probably be holed up in the Hilton bar, either working or meeting people and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to because Morphogen Ben is a Columbus. He lives in Columbus,
Columbite.
so yeah, whatever you want to call it. So there's a lot of people, him included. We'll hang out with them, and it's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. So it should be good times.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any interest, since we brought up FIBO, do you have any interest in actually going overseas? I know it is a massive show, and it dwarfs the Arnold. It's like 3 Arnolds stacked on top of each other is basically what it's been described to me as. So, I mean, this thing is massive. So do you have any interest, desire, intentions of wanting to go?
Well, it would be kind of like going to the Olympia, right? Because do I want to go visit Europe and see some people over there and go do some things over there? Yes. Do I want to go to FIBO? No. Like it's like the Olympia. I couldn't give a shit less about the Olympia, but it is Vegas, and a lot of people are going to be there that I want to see. But as far as going to actual FIBO, I couldn't care less. But there would be a lot of fun stuff to do while we're over there. Make a big trip out of it. So, yeah, like if we were to sort of coordinate a trip to Europe that just happened to be around FIBO, I could see that happening and just maybe pop by. But it's not something like those expos and stuff like that. Is just not really.
Yeah,
it's not really my thing. Not really what I want to do. I just want to hang out with like a few people, have some good times, and you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, hey man, I gotcha. I'm excited. I have a love-hate relationship with the Arnold, or rather, the weather always sucks when we're at Columbus, and so I like getting up there and meeting with everybody, but it is so crowded, it is so cramped, and the weather is always shitty. It's cold, wet, and windy. So that's kind of what sucks about the Arnold. But the good thing is you get to see everybody, get to hang out, have some drinks, meet people that you don't get to spend a lot of time with, or have some interactions that you otherwise wouldn't have if you weren't there in place. So there's good and bad. And Sandy has already said that. Well, she vehemently hates the Arnold. She's been with me to it twice, I think, but every year her service trips that her school does. So she works at a Christian private school. She's a teacher there, and they always have a service trip, and it always lines up the exact week after the Arnold. So as I'm coming in on a plane, she's usually driving to Waco, San Antonio, or going to some other location where they always have these, week-long service projects. So, and since she's the dean of the freshmen at the high school, she is responsible for coordinating this whole mission trip to Waco. And so she has to take all of the parents up about 45 minutes to go get all the rental vans on Saturday while I'm mid-air flying back. So she's trying to figure out, do I take the toddler with me? Do I get a babysitter for that time? I don't even know where I'm going to get these rental vans, and she's still got to coordinate all that. And she says, Robert, I love your job and what you can do. She says, I hate the fucking Arnold trip because of its timing every year. But she's stoked about Vegas, man. She's not a week goes by that she's not looking forward to Vegas. For supply side, not the Olympia. For supply side, I should say.
Yeah, that's another reason too why I haven't been at Arnold in a long time, because it always falls like on my birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we'll usually do something fun. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Columbus in March.
Yeah.
For my birthday. Like, even this year, it's a big milestone birthday for me this year. And like, oh, let's do something like really cool. And I'm like, yeah, really cool. Like, drive 9 hours to Columbus, Ohio in March. But at the same time, it's by the time when we actually do get there, it's going to be so much fun that it'll be plenty worth it. But yeah, man, I haven't been there in, I mean, it's been 10 years, more than 10 years, I would say.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it will be like the first time.
you look awfully young for a guy that's about to turn 50. So this is gonna be good.
What a dick! It's all that is those multivitamins, man.
Multivitamins and collagen pills and collagen.
It's that creatine, man. I'm telling you.
Hopped up on the creatine. All right, man. Well, that's enough shenanigans for the moment. Let's discuss some supplements.
Sure. I have to take a nap. I mean, I'm turning 50, so I have to afternoon nap.
Street lights are almost on. It's almost bedtime for you.
Well, speaking of, so one booth that I'll stop by, I see Bomar has a Froze amino and BCA. Aminos and BCAAs. Okay. I guess you have to tell people that these days.
Yeah, the average consumer is not educated enough to understand that, and that's not a knock, but it kind of is, but people should do a little bit more research into that. Now, this is where that's a high price tag, though. Each stick of this amino thing is $3.
Well, I think that's what we run into also. Like, a lot of people ask me, everyone wants samples. And I was like, people don't appreciate how expensive it is for companies to make samples, because
correct,
getting the machines and get everything all set up is, so the longer run, right, you make,
right,
the cheaper it becomes to ultimately run it. So when you have to do shit like this, and that's why it's like, as much as people want samples, if I'm a small brand, there's no way I can do it.
No, it's cost prohibitive expensive to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's good, get it out there. But I feel like a lot of these days, man, like, people they just want free shit, but they don't even do anything. And I really don't think people buy based off samples very much.
No.
Anyway, they just, I don't know. I don't want to go on another how much I can't stand supplement consumer rant again this week, but geez, man, I hear such stupid shit every single day from consumers that it's hard for me not to be a little bit jaded, because I'm like, man, I'd really love to help you out, but you really got to get your head out of your ass.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I
get it.
Agree with that. And it's they went with, I want to say, almost entirely brand new flavors, because I have one of Bomar's BCAAs here, and it's their guava nectar flavor, which tastes awesome. And all of Bomar stuff, all the products I've tried, taste really, really good. These new flavors sound good. Froze, which is, some kind of rosé flavored thing. I'm surprised. Well, you're the rose expert. I mean, you had the bang internship, so.
Yeah, I didn't last long there.
Grape lemonade, lemonade iced tea, green apple, and pomegranate acai, or acai, however you want to say that. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but that's one of those quote-unquote superfoods from 2010.
So, I'm just looking at this. Did you see the metrics headline here?
Yeah, they're gonna be a game changer in the protein wars.
In the protein, so get ready to experience what the next evolution of protein tastes like.
I mean, metrics really hasn't been a driving force of innovation, change, or notoriety in the supplement industry in quite some time. I mean, they're one of the old legacy brands, but these days, I couldn't tell you one thing that Metrics makes.
So I don't know if this is just a guess, but I did hear some companies, this was back at the Arnold. I heard a couple companies talk about this, or not the Arnold, but the Olympia. They're getting into making, say, protein powders that are, and there was the one company did that, like the Nectar or whatever it was, where it was basically like juice. It was coming out like, almost like an amino acid type flavoring, but it was actual, protein.
Yeah.
Yep. So I had some people mention that at Olympia. So I don't know, maybe this is where we're going with this. Although that's still not a new thing, because there's that one company that did
yeah,
that.
Dymatize did their clear RTDs a while back. They did ISO clear 2 or 3 years ago, because I tried that. I want to say the fruit punch flavor, and it was fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nothing. I think it was a fruit punch, and they did a blue raz, which everyone knows my thoughts on blue raz. It's a flavor that should not exist, but to each their own. So I'm trying to figure out, it's
So
the next evolution in protein taste. I don't know.
I hate to be such a cynical asshole, but we'll see. I'll give them a chance because Metrex. I think Metrex. Years back, I remember reading some comments from, their owner that was very much would fly very well today, but it seemed like he was maybe a little bit ahead of the times when it came to when he was talking about things like transparency, and he was getting frustrated because he was seeing a lot of people. They were one of the first big ones. He said, yeah, he was seeing a lot of people cut corners to sort of steal part of the market. And I remember reading an interview with him way back in the day, and I was like, and then if you think back on it now and where we are now, you're kind of like, shit, it was like kind of, so we'll see. So I would like, you always like to see a legacy brand like this throw their hat in the ring.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Hey, we'll be there. So
we will
find out.
We'll have our minds blown by this game-changing protein.
That was one thing I mentioned too about going back to the Saxon Sledge thing is, someone on the Supplement Snoop group made a comment. He's like, for me, this blows the cereal collaborations out of the water. And I said, well, that's kind of the thing is when I think Dymatize, nothing against them. It's cool what they did. But I was like, it's Fruity Pebbles and Dymatize. Like, it's nothing to do with each other. It's just novelty. Whereas Axe and Sledge, when they come out with a whiskey and cola, that makes sense for their brand.
Correct.
Very much fits together. So that's where you see things. And I think there was a comment about Ghost. They're like, those guys like the candy stuff, and that sort of fits in their personality. But I think just the fit with the whiskey and cola with Axe and Sledge is just, I just love it. When they showed me the concept for that the first time and told me not to tell anyone, I was like, how the fuck am I not supposed to tell somebody? I was like, that is
a match made in
cruel. Exactly. I was like, that is cruel to tell me I'm not allowed to tell anyone.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that is kind of irksome about the Dymatize, their affiliation. So there's no cereal pieces in it.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, Post owns Dymatize, don't they? And Post is the company that makes Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles.
Well, that would make sense. I have no idea.
I believe that's what I believe. Post owns Dymatize, so that just seems like a huge miss, not including the cereal pieces when inclusions are especially when you're doing a very noteworthy, memorable cereal from our childhoods. Now you're 15 years older than me, so our cereals might have disappeared. 5 years.
Heard that.
So, I lost my train of thought now. So I just don't.
You lost your train of thought, but yeah, I'm the old one.
Yeah, I need more nootropics. I need to go hit some more lion's mane. That just seems like a miss because you have so many other companies that are just doing riffs on these cereals, not the official one or the official licensed one, but they're still including those cookie pieces, those cereal pieces, whatever in there. So that seems like a kind of a miss in my thought. And really, if you're going to exclude the inclusions, and you're worried you're going to argue about carb and fat content, you're talking like maybe an extra gram or two of carbohydrate by adding those inclusions in there. It's not going to be something that's going to jack up the carb count of the protein powder by 15 grams or something stupid like that.
Yeah, because even like
changes.
Ghost, the Chips Ahoy one, there was more fat and carbs in that than I think most people are used to. But there's tons of people that do fruity cereal stuff in there. Like Olympus's fruity cereal one, it was. I mean, I think the macros were identical to just every other isolate stuff out there.
Right.
So, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what would be the excuse? I mean, if anyone had an excuse to put the damn Fruity Pebbles in there, it would be them.
Yeah. But I know Primeval Strawberry Shortcake Bar protein, it wasn't very much different at all from the rest of their isolate flavors, and only, one or two of them actually had inclusions in there. So I don't, that seems like a tremendous miss for me.
Yeah, because I don't like inclusions in my protein for the most part, but if I was going to have inclusions, I would want it to be like some Cocoa Pebbles.
Right.
I would appreciate that. Because actually, that was one thing that I did really like about Olympus had their protein before, they had the mocha flavor. It had like these little chocolate like Rice Krispies
Yeah.
tasted in there. And those were good. Like I appreciated those
Hmm.
big time. So yeah, that's a big miss. I honestly, I don't even think I've ever bought anything from Dymatize in my entire life. So
I haven't either.
um,
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort, but for me, I
Yeah, it
pass.
seems like
Unless they
a
send
little
out.
bit of a miss. Um,
I also can't buy any more protein powder. I have too much protein powder.
yeah, I've got an excess at the moment, but we're working our way through it slowly, slowly. Uh, Question: since we're on the topic of inclusions, would you be for or against, or do you think it would be a novel idea to do inclusions in a pre-workout? So, by the inclusions, I'm not talking like cookie pieces or cereal pieces. I'm talking something that gives like a little tongue fizz or a bite to kind of give you that sensory experience that it might be hitting harder. So putting something in there like Pop Rocks candy, do like a Pop Rocks flavored candy that's in line with whatever flavor pre-workout you're doing. So if you have lemon lime, you've got little fizzy balls of lemon lime just popping in your mouth while you're drinking the pre-workout, and that will kind of enhance your whole sensory experience. Or is that just stupid? And I'm talking out of my ass.
I'm like one more sentence from just closing out this window, ending this. No, but I think so. Right, you had because I just talked so much shit about the C4 Pop Rocks that's where my brain
Yeah.
first went to. But damn it, man. No, I think I'm gonna have to let you take that one. What do you think? What's on your mind?
I mean, I think it would be a novel idea, but novelty isn't always a good thing. So just because you can do something or it might be the first to break into the industry and do something doesn't mean it's warranted or needed or beneficial in any regard. So yeah, C4 did the Pop Rocks. That's cool. But
No, it's not. What?
I'm saying
Cool.
it's an innovation, but who wants to chew their
I'm
pre-workout ahead
out.
of time?
That's it. I'm out. It's a what? What did you say that was? You said it was an innovation. What the? I don't even know you anymore.
Had any other company done Pop Rocks in the supplement space yet?
No, because they're
Then
not
it's an
idiots.
innovation. That's according to the letter of the law. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying it's something that was new. So Ghost was the first to do an official flavor collab with somebody. It's I don't think it would be. I don't want to chew something in my pre-workout, but I mean we're going to see a nootropic design for binging Netflix soon enough, and I figure we're going to probably see an inclusion in a pre-workout soon enough too, when people start trying to or figure out another way to try and be cute.
You're probably right. I mean, because really, I don't know. I guess there's some ingredients I know people are talking about that are going to be coming around maybe this year, and we'll always have like a little bit of that. But what else really are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I guess. Um. So yeah, I could see that because I don't know. When you see some of the stuff, you appreciate that. As long as the formula is good, then I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
It's when if you make a gummy or a pop rock or something like that that sacrifices any like sort of performance. That's when I'm like, well, what the fuck are we doing here? But if you take something cool and then like I talk about, I don't really much. Are cool flavors a good thing? Of course they are.
Yeah.
But if this grind formula was shit and it was a cool whiskey flavor, I would think it's cool, but I'd be like,
Yeah.
I would rather have the cool formula. But the fact that they sort of can put it together and make it work is a good thing. So when you see companies with the proteins, it's like I guess that was sort of inevitable because all protein was starting to taste really good. A lot of companies are doing a really good job. So
Yeah.
we're upping the A&E a little bit. So as long as we're not sacrificing, performance and you're trying to, charge extra and give me less ingredients because there's some sort of flavor collaboration or some sort of thing like what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're not doing that, then hey man, I'm all for it. I'm not that old.
Yeah. Would you ever consider?
I'm with you.
You brought up something. You mentioned whiskey and cola again. So when Sandy and I did the review of the OMG Recover EAA from a Nova farm, she actually took a little bit of the whiskey that we had and mixed it with that. So you get this anabolic, quote unquote, anabolic cocktail. Since drinking alcohol will suppress rates of muscle protein synthesis and encourage muscle protein breakdown. But you pair with some EAAs, you can combat some of that. So
Sure.
is the cola flavor good enough to not need to mix Diet Coke or cola with the with whiskey if you were going to mix that. Do you think that the cola flavor is prevalent enough to do that?
I think so. I think it is. I think we're gonna have to try that out.
I think that's a good idea.
And I know you just mentioned it before I forget. I think I brought it up before. Did Innova Farm made the new flavor recovery AA, that watermelon?
Yeah. Awesome.
It is mind blowing.
I have not tried that, but all of their flavors are amazing, so I'm not surprised. Chris and company over there know what the frick they're doing as far as flavorings go.
It is insane. Like, especially watermelon. I think companies get watermelon a little bit wrong all the time. Like, you taste the watermelon, but it always has like that weird, like kind of fire at the end of it. And it's sort of like unpleasant. It tastes like watermelon candy. It is.
Yeah, all of their supplements taste
insanely good.
delicious. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. Innova Farms stuff is go if you have not tried. If you're looking for a different amino supplement, go try their OMG flavor. Their sweet tea is good. I don't think it's as good as the OMG, and nobody else is doing an orange mango grapefruit flavor. So do that. And I do want to try their snow cone one too. I have yet to try that one.
This watermelon one is nuts. And speaking of, so Innova Farm, I don't know if it was on. Has Innova Farm posted anything on Stacked? Because
they
were teasing a new.
Yeah. I know what they're gonna be. I know what the product is because I've seen the full label and what it is. So I can
because they told
discuss it with you off air.
Well, they said they were going to send me something. I think they're sending it to me, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, yeah, it's when we end this call, I'll tell you what it is because there's one coming to my way too, and it may be here, it may not be yet, but Austin's mail delivery service blows, so it wouldn't surprise me if it comes to me a week later.
That's what I like, man. Like location. Like everybody we talk to, they're like based in New York or New Jersey or something like that.
Yep.
I get that stuff in like one day. I love it.
It must be nice. Well, I'm closer to the Florida-based companies like SteelFit and whatnot. But Rob will tell me he's sending me something, and it still comes like 5 days after it gets sent. So it's not, or 5 days after it should have been arriving. So Austin's postal department sucks.
Yeah, when we get stuff from the Georgia manufacturers, the Norcross area that has all the manufacturers.
Yeah.
They, for whatever reason, because I think it was Alpha Lion, I've got like 3 products in a row before Jordan did. And he's like, damn, I didn't get mine yet. I love this little kid. Or like when NutraBio would send stuff. Yeah. I mean, they're right there. They're like 2 hours away from me. So I know I've told Jeff Long, I said, I'm not waiting for you to ship me anything. I said, I'll just drive to your house, come pick it up because I don't want to wait.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's easy.
So anyway, I didn't know if you, because I just caught that. Oh, yeah. I see the post now on Instagram, but I didn't see anything on Stack. So
no, it's not.
That'd be cool.
Stacked yet.
Innova Farm does some cool stuff. So what I'm interested too, man, and I know you'll know this too. You'll find out more, but our friends over at Glaxon are not slowing. They are not slowing down.
They got something else in the works that you've been privy to.
They got some cool stuff. They sent me a video the other day of they were putting the product together to send my way. But this is very early stages stuff.
Yeah.
And because they'll message me and I'm like, so you want to try something? I'm like,
yes,
yeah,
please.
I don't care what it is. I don't even care what it is. Like, well, do you want to know anything about it? No. Yeah. When should I take it? And for how long?
Does it have any stimulants? What else do I need to know about?
Right. Other than that, it's all good. Throw it down. Other than that, so anyway, I didn't want to forget about the Innova Farm. I know we were talking about.
Yep.
Their
stuff is delicious, and yeah.
Are you going to Bullfrog on Thursday?
Well, here's the thing. Paul has invited me to come, and I'm intending to go. I believe it starts at 5. My flight lands in Columbus at 5:10. So I'm going to immediately get off the plane, hop in Uber or Lyft, whatever's cheapest and available, and basically just go straight from the airport with my bags Bullfrog, and then I'll just hop another ride out to my hotel.
Because I think, I said it's maybe 8 or 9 hour drive for us, depending on who knows what we run into on the way there. But
Yeah.
I plan on going. I just don't know. I can't be 100% sure we're going to make it. Just, but the intent is to be there. So anyway, I just saw the Core, and I remember that Core is releasing their Intra, I think, that night.
Yes, I believe so.
So yeah, I want to get there. Paul's a good dude. He's been on your podcast before, right?
Yeah, he's been on there twice. Mountain Dog will be there. He's been on twice. And I actually met John in person a couple of times. I've never met Paul in person. I think Lobliner will be there. He's been on the podcast, and I've spent time with him before. And Dr. Scott Stevenson, who the Fortitude training creator and kind of this stalwart force in the bodybuilding industry, he should be there, and he's been on the podcast. And so it'll be cool to rub elbows with some of those guys and get to talk to them face to face. Yeah,
Paul's been a big supporter of us. He and that collaboration they did with Dynamic, they nailed that sucker. I'll tell you that much. So yeah, I definitely want to go. Gabriella is she does a lot of really good content. She's super smart when it comes to supplements. Paul does all kinds of stuff. So we definitely want to get there and support. Plus with Core being kind of a Core event, we're big supporters of Core. So the plan is to get there. We'll just see how the day. We'll see how the day goes.
Yeah. Is the event from 5 to 8, or is it 5 to 7, or
5 to 8?
5 to 8. Okay.
So then if we get there, it'll probably be at the end somewhere. But I'm sure it's not like everybody goes home at 8 o'clock.
Right. Yeah. It's just a slow funneling out.
Yep. So other than that,
Pre-Caged released a.
Go
ahead.
The Core Pump is on here, but it's not. There's no
formula. That's why I was scooting down to Pre-Caged finally released. This seems long overdue. Is that the brand started 5 years ago, and now it's finally come out with a stim-free pump formula, which is basically the same Pre-Caged, just minus the caffeine.
There's so many weird things about this product. The amino acids, I don't understand. I know that was like a thing, like to do, like where everyone started putting amino acids in. I think Nutra did it. I know Jim did it, and Cage.
Well, yeah, the same formula. The guy that formulated Pre-Cage is the same one that did Jim. So,
right.
Yeah.
Is everyone supposed to know that? I thought it was. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go down that road. So the weird thing. So you have, 1.75 grams of leucine in the muscle fuel matrix, but then you have 3 grams of leucine in the anabolic activator. Yeah. So how much leucine are you getting in this thing? And then you have creatine HCl, which that's one thing that I like Cage, but they push the expensive creatine sources way too much for my liking. But and then you have the 2 forms of tyrosine, which I get it at one time, a lot of this stuff. And if you make a cool formula, you shouldn't have to reformulate just to get attention. But there are certain things that we know about this formula that they should fix.
Tweak, yeah. You don't need the aminos in there anymore. You definitely don't need the creatine HCl, especially only 1.5 grams of it. The N-acetyl L-tyrosine could be nixed altogether in favor of a more robust dose of L-tyrosine, since we know for all intents and purposes that NALT is a very, very poor prodrug for tyrosine and dopamine conversion in the body.
And they have the pyridoxine form of B6, which you could clean that up too. It just, there's reasons why companies reformulate, because science emerges, anecdotal evidence emerges, things change.
Correct.
This one should be, especially if they were going to come out with a stim-free version, that would be a good time to. But I mean, if the thing keeps selling, I don't know how popular it is. It must be popular. So,
yeah.
I think he'll be at the Bullfrog, but I've never talked to him. But I don't know whether he would know the answer to that question anyway. I don't think he gets into formulas much.
Not as much. That's Brian Rand, who does most of their formulation stuff. So I don't know if he's going to be up in Columbus at all or not. Something to ask Chris when we see
There's some
him
good
at the
stuff
Bullfrog
about
thing.
this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
there's
there's
good
things
stuff.
about this I
just,
like. It's
yeah,
not like it's a bad product. I think it needs updated just a little bit.
correct. Outright Bar, their sunflower seed butter one, going after that vegan market.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess. It's fine. I do know some people that haven't been able to try the outright bar because they can't handle whey, so
Yeah.
that is cool for them. So I don't want to offend some of my dear friends that I make fun of because it can't handle whey. But so at least they get to try it because outright bar, as much as it's not like we talked about, it's not really like my go-to, but
right.
I can respect what it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's pretty cool. It's probably going to lead Mark to a very, very nice ride off into retirement, which I'll be super happy for him, even though like we're not friends or anything. But it still is cool to see somebody work their ass off and sort of hopefully it allows him to just go enjoy. You know, he's still young. He's younger than I am, and you know, so I'm a little jealous. Like that he's gonna be able to retire before me. So we'll see.
Okay, we've hit the 1 hour mark, but do we want to tap the brakes on it, or do we want to discuss the this new nitrate ingredient?
Wait a minute. Do we want to? Because that's Man Sports.
Yeah.
So I didn't even see this. How did this make it past our attention 3 days ago that Bang is coming out with a protein bar? How did we not get tagged about this?
Yeah, I don't know. That was
Beverage brand Bang. Beverage brand Bang is alliteration is coming out with a high protein Bang bar.
Bang bar. Now VPX had a protein bar. They still might. That was naturally sweetened, naturally made. It did not taste very good. I was not a fan of it at all.
What is it? Super protein? What disease are they claiming that this one cures?
I have no idea. I was trying to think of something clever, and my mind is blanking on me.
Sorry. So there is a trademark. Soft bar technology.
Oh, Jesus. Legendary Pumpkin Supreme is one of the flavors. Brownie flavor and cookies and cream. Now, the cookies and cream flavor was the one I tried of the old, whatever that old VPX protein bar was called. I wish I could remember what the frick it was called. But yeah, it was not very good. The taste wasn't good. The texture was off. It was one of those soft bars that just kind of tastes like almost like raw cookie dough in your mouth. And I'm not one that's ever enjoyed raw cookie dough. The flavor of it, the texture of it. I'm weird. I know. I've never liked that raw cookie dough kind of thing.
I wonder what the soft bar technology is.
I mean, it's an unbaked protein bar. It's gonna be a non-baked, zero impact. That was the name of it. The VPX Zero Impact protein bar. And there's a cookies and cream that I tried way back in the day, which was way back in the day in supplement terms, is like 3 years ago.
So
yeah,
because there's some cool things farther back, like Arms Race Nutrition. I know our friend Brandon. He came out. He's got that product that he's teasing, that Nootropic, and he named it. So it was kind of funny. So we won't, I don't want to promote because we work with Brandon, but he said that when he was coming up with his concept for his product, we leave the creativity stuff to our clients and stuff like that. Yeah. And he said when he showed us the initial mock-ups, we didn't really see much, but the name, I thought he just put unnamed Nutra because he hadn't come up with a name yet.
Yeah.
So then when he shared us the final thing, like when it showed up on Stack and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, so that's the name of it, is unnamed Nutra? And I was like, that's weird. And then I thought about it. I was like, I kind of like that. I was like, I never would have thought of that. He's like, he's like, I want to go for the whole like irony behind branding and anti-branding, and he's sort of targeting people outside the supplement
Yeah.
industry, where I don't want to say branding is, because branding has become very important within the supplement industry, but
Right.
when it comes to like fashion and all that stuff, like branding is so huge. So
Yep.
I thought that was kind of funny. We'll see how people receive the unnamed Nutra. Make a name for yourself. I kind of like that. It was
I
not
like
my
it.
idea, unfortunately.
I mean, I like the formula and the concept. Unnamed Nutra is kind of difficult to say though. So I'm wondering how, if something doesn't roll easily off the tongue, is it harder for it to gain popularity and be remembered? Is one thing I would be concerned with from a marketing standpoint. But then again, I'm not a marketing guru, genius, or expert by any
Me
means.
either.
So
Me either. That's why I'm sure he didn't ask me for my input on what the name is.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But I think did they say? I don't know.
I like
was
the
looking at these
formula.
arms
It's
race.
a good little nootropic. It kind of covers a bunch of different bases. So I mean, it's a solid formula.
Yeah, like he said, he was targeting people like working professional type, not into supplements kind of thing, like alternative coffee, and
Yeah.
I like the formula too. I'll just say that. I think it's a very, very well thought out, efficient formula.
Yeah.
Maybe I had something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe you might ask me.
There we go. There you go. Although, is this a typo on the label or not? Because it says huperzine A 1%, 0.1 milligrams. So that just be 1 milligram of huperzine A or 10 milligrams of huperzine A, and then it would actually be 100 micrograms.
Here's an interesting part about that. That's one of those things, because I asked the same thing. I don't want to say that different people put different things on their labels, but as we've seen, there is some. How do I put it? It's not like there's anything like right or wrong. It's just there is different ways, which kind of sucks because it gets a little confusing. But that's one of the first times I've seen it listed like that.
In that form, yeah. And I know it has to do with the way that you call out, the way you actually list the ingredient. And so if you put huperzine A 1%, a lot of the times they'll just say, companies will say Huperzia serrata extract, and then in the parentheses it'll say standardized to 1%. So the parentheses part is what the dosage has to be listed at. So I think that's where that comes into play. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Should be 100 micrograms.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the CDP choline at 200. I like the rhodiola at 200 and the standardization used there. This is a nice mid to low caffeine content, depending on how sensitive you are to caffeine. It's only 167 total, split between an immediate and a sustained release. Theobromines there for some added support and cognitive benefits and blood flow. Yeah, I mean it's a nice tidy little formula. So good job there, Justin.
Well, I think anybody too that knows, if you've used, especially if you're not, like I said, it'd be another thing if he was like, man, I want to target like the hardcore nootropic.
Yeah.
But that's not what he's going for.
Right.
So he's going for a certain thing. And I was like, look, man, if you've ever used some CDP choline, some rhodiola, a little bit of caffeine, I was like, you don't need to use much more. Nope. I was like, especially people that, are looking for a coffee alternative, I was like, people are going to feel this. Yeah. I was like, trust me.
Yeah.
I was like, even maybe us that are like dead inside because, we've fried out everything. I was like, maybe we might need, a gram of modafinil in there too, but
hey, why not?
It doesn't mean that's a good thing.
Right.
So we'll see.
Why do
we'll see
you
how
think
people?
This is something I want to get your thoughts on. So a lot of people position, or a lot of brands will position nootropics as a replacement to your morning coffee, or we'll see the same thing with amino energy supplements. Use this as a replacement for your energy drink or your morning cup of coffee, your afternoon coffee, whenever you have your coffee. Why don't we see more coffee flavored nootropics or amino energy supplements?
Yeah, I think that's because I think you're seeing some people, they're like, okay, we're gonna make this to put in your coffee, where it sort of works, alongside with stuff. Coffee is just such an institution. It's like, I don't know if people can't pull the flavor off. or
Yeah.
it's hard to replace coffee because people like with what Brandon was talking about. He said, I don't necessarily want to replace someone's coffee. He said, but when you get to like the afternoon and people might go for more coffee,
Yeah.
and they're like, because one thing that's interesting is if doing a little bit of research and stuff like that on consumers, there's some things that play into this that I would have never thought of, like why people take capsules. And some people, they're in the car commuting, and if you drink coffee and you got to take a piss, you can't, kind of thing, or you're sitting in class, or you're sort of thing. So there's some things that sort of play in here that's why it's like the more you talk to customers, I think one reason why we've been successful with the consulting thing is because over the last 2 years, all I've done is talk to supplement consumers every day. And you really learn a lot of things that, especially the deeper you are within the industry, you just forget that this is why people are grabbing this stuff. It's not for this 6 grams of citrulline studied dose for this, level of nitric oxide production. So sometimes it's like, well, I just don't, and sometimes the answers can be so simple and right in front of your face, but you don't really get it. So it's always good. It's good to figure out who your target customer is and what that person is looking for. You don't have to trick them. You can give them something effective for just what they need, and then everybody's happy. So it's kind of crazy, man. I get it. Consumers are tough because trends are so, seems like they pop up and then they go away, and people are trying to play catch up all the time. And so if you can sort of stay ahead of the curve a little bit, just by talking to people, you can start to predict, maybe things that they're going to do.
Gotcha. Oh, also, you mentioned the Bullfrog party and the Axe and Sledge party. I'm not sure if you got the invite to this one yet. I think it's probably coming in the mail. It's the party with the pros that Redcon is holding. It's their official party to be and the end of all other parties. So I think you are going to be a special guest speaker at that one, aren't you?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't have anything against Redcon, but that's a lie. I should say, like, there's nothing to me that's sort of wrong with their supplements or anything like that. But I've said too many things, I think, and I can't imagine that I'm on the list. And it's not like you're going to get a +1, so I think we're shit out of luck there.
I mean, you can spend $75. You're making that big money from the app, dude. You're about to retire next year.
That's the goal. So the Elite Lounge for $75. I'm sure it's going to be fun. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good people there.
Yeah.
My money's not going to go to them just personally, but that's just me.
Gotcha.
I'll leave it there.
That works.
We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there.
All
right, man. Well, I think we've run the gamut for this week and hit enough high points and avoided enough pitfalls to keep us out of trouble at least for one more week and keep the wheels on this train rolling.
Well, we'll find out, I guess. We'll find out.
We will, unless I get another nasty text like I did right before we got on this call. Then, we'll go.
You just never know, man. All right, man. We'll try to figure out what we're going to do for next week since we'll both be traveling to Columbus on Thursday next week. So
yeah.
And we'll do a live from the Arnold podcast on Friday.
There we go.
In the middle of all the shit. So
we'll figure something out, my man. So have a great week, and I'm sure we'll be in touch probably 10 minutes after this podcast recording's over.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye.